Welcome to my garden at the Lili Bermuda Perfumery in St. George's. It's a pleasure to have you all here. I have my dark and stormy. It's still summer in Bermuda, and we're very excited to have you here. So we are almost COVID-free here in Bermuda, so you can come, feel very safe. Everybody wears their mask. I have to say Bermudans are very compliant, so it's a safe place if you need a little break from all the craziness going around. All right, so without further ado, we're going to start looking at the fragrance library, and we're going to start with the ladies fragrance library. And I've invited everybody who I mean, we did a posting on Facebook, but I also invited everybody who actually bought a perfume library in the last 6-7 months, just to be sure that they could be introduced. So we're going to go through all the fragrances as they come in the fragrance library. I think this is the best gift because everybody finds something that they love in here. And I travel with this. I've bought this myself at the airport countless times because I forget my perfumes behind. And I love it because I can, I can switch day, night, depending on the occasion I'm going to. All right, so let's start with the very first one in the fragrance library. We're gonna start with Coral. Coral is very special for me because it's my first fragrance that I did for Lili Bermuda. And to me, that fragrance represents spring in Bermuda. When you come to Bermuda in the month of March, April, the whole island is covered with wild freesia, and it's the best time for the Bermuda roses, which have bloom all winter. So, it's very pretty, and it's very fresh. It's very spring. So it's very ozonic. It smells like the ocean, the air, and you have that really nice floral, but done in a very fresh way with just a dash of ginger and clementine at the top. So it sparkles and it's really, really nice. This is my most popular fragrance. When people ask me, do I have fragrances that I wear more than others? Coral is definitely one of them. It's my go-to fragrance when I need to win that day, and you wake up and you're like, okay, this is going to be a big day. Well, it's a Coral day for sure because, it gives me a lot of confidence and I really love it. So that's for Coral. The next one is Lili. So the year I launched Coral, I also launched Lili because these were the first two fragrances that I did, Coral and Lili, a few weeks after. And I did Lili because I wanted to, our name is Lili Bermuda, but our fragrance Easter Lili, I thought was a fragrance of previous times. And I wanted something modern that really reflects our brand and our new direction as me, as a perfumer. And Lili came along, and it's a great, gorgeous fragrance. On the table here, it's an eau de toilette, but some fragrances do really have different directions, whether you wear the pure perfume or the eau de toilette. Lili as a perfume is marvelous. It just sparkles in a different way, and it's really beautiful. So Lili is a lily of the valley. So this is inspired by my father's garden back in Montreal, where we didn't do Easter lily, but we did lily of the valley in the spring. I had some in my wedding bouquet, and it means a lot to me. So I love that fragrance. Quite green as well as Coral, but a bit more musky, and I like to say a bit soapy. So it smells really clean and fresh, and it's perfect for summer days where you need something that's very sharp and has a lot of sunshine. Lili really has that. So that's for Lili. Just gonna see. There we go. All right. The next one is pink. Yes, so I did pink, and I did pink in 2009. I love that fragrance. Um, Pink is beautiful, and I never get tired of wearing that fragrance. I was wearing it this week on Wednesday, um, and it reminded me, it's the kind of fragrance that's very young and innocent to me, and it never grows old. It's fresh, and every time I have someone in my store that comes and wants a fragrance for a young girl, I always say go with pink, because pink is fresh, it's innocent, it's a bit fruity, it has a bit of watermelon, mimosa, it's with grapefruit, and it's fresh, and you can never overdo pink, which is what I love about that. So teenage girls who tend to overdo a lot of things, well, even if they put way too much pink, they can't go wrong because it's not going to take over. So this is very happy. I think all my fragrances are very happy, but this one is it's just a flirt. It's just, you know, a little butterfly passing by, which is very nice. All right, now we're getting a little headier, a little more serious, but in a beautiful, beautiful Bermuda way. The next one is Petals. Petals. So I do wear a lot of coral, but I wear a lot of petals as well. I love, love, love Petals. Petals is brilliant. Lush bouquet of Bermuda white flowers. So this smells like a hot August night in Bermuda. Really, really, really pretty. I'm just going to admit a couple more people. And this is really, it's a big fragrance, but done in a very bright way. So jasmine for a perfumer is always a really, really good challenge, because jasmine tends to be dark and quite thick. But this Petals, it took me a couple of years to do this. And it's really, really one of those, it's really one of those big, big fragrance that I wanted to do with lots of lightness. All right. So you are all muted, but if you want to put a little question, please go ahead in the chat room. All right. Petals is fabulous in the August sweaty nights of Bermuda, but it's also glorious in the wintertime in your cashmere sweater. It's really, really, really beautiful, and it trails beautifully. You know, it's a jasmine, so yes, it's definitely quite heady, but it's also very bright, and it trails magnificently. I love this. It goes right straight to my heart. Love that fragrance. All right, the next two fragrances, so Oleander and Passion Flower, are very classic fragrances of Lili Bermuda. I did not do those fragrances, but I kept them in my collection because they're still very current. Okay, so fragrances go through, you know, some fashion in a way, but you know, you can smell a fragrance and you can smell, oh, this is more of an 80s fragrance, or this is more of a 70s fragrance. Oleander, I call it my little black dress. So it's one of those fragrances that doesn't really age. It goes through time perfectly. It's always impeccable, and it's one of my best sellers. It's been one of my best sellers since the beginning. Passion Flower is also a little black dress, but this one is a little more sexy. So it's a little shorter than Passion Flower, than Oleander. I mean, it's a great scent, and I say it's a little shorter because it's the heart of Passion Flower is gardenia, so it's very white flower. Also jasmine, a bit of tuberose, in the same kind of vein as Petals, but much headier and a bit darker and more classic, I would say. It doesn't have it doesn't shine and is as bright as petals, but it definitely has a heart of white flower, but in a very classic way. And I say it's a little sexy because it has some nice sweetness to it, that makes the fragrance trail beautifully, really, really nice. Now, passion flower is very special for Lili Bermuda because this is a fragrance we've been making for 90 years, and it's the bride that comes for her honeymoon in Bermuda's first choice. So through the years, we've had a lot of amazing stories of brides coming back, returning to Bermuda for their anniversary, and sometimes it's 50 years, 60 years, and they return and they buy passion flower. And I've had a few of them, the ladies bring me their old bottle that they bought many, many, many years ago, and it really always warms my heart. So beautiful, beautiful scent. All right, the next one, Paradise. Paradise is a fabulous fragrance. In fact, I didn't create Paradise either. Paradise was created in 1989. It was the last fragrance created before I came into the picture. And that fragrance is great. And when I say you can smell the timing of a fragrance, this smells like the 1980s, all right? But in a glorious way. The 80s were big years, even for music, for fashion. You had the big hair, and Paradise is one of those amazing classic Oriental. So it's really, really nice. I'm gonna spray that and smell it. So it's a classic Oriental. It's big, it's opulent, it's rich, and I absolutely love it. It's a bit, it's almost a little dirty, you know, but it's great. I love that. I love wearing Paradise in the wintertime. I don't do a lot of Oriental fragrances. I grew up loving opium, and to me, opium is a fabulous, fabulous scent. Paradise reminds me a little bit of opium. You know, those fragrances, like when you're an Oriental lady, that's all you wear and that's all you love. And my Paradise ladies, they've been wearing it since 1989. It's just a really, really fun scent. All right, and the last ladies one you have in your fragrance library for ladies is Sunkiss. All right. All right, I don't have Gabrielle with me today. She's online. She's watching everybody, but she's watching everything, but she's not with me in my garden, unfortunately. All right, Sunkiss. Sunkiss is my newest one for ladies, and it's fabulous. And I did that with Gabrielle, actually. And it smells like summer in Bermuda. So this one, I call it my pool party fragrance. It's fun, it's happy, it's young, it's bright. Not much too serious about that. But there's a side of it that is also very feminine, which I love. My ladies' fragrances are very feminine, and Sunkiss is one of them. So this one is flirty, it's fun, it's summer, it's orange flower that I do with a bit of vanilla cream, and it's fresh, and it wears beautiful in the summertime as well as in the wintertime. It's a great, great, great fragrance. I love it. All right, let me see if I have any question. Good question. Is the flower oleander flower is poisonous? Yes, it is, but not the fragrance. And there's other fragrances that are flowers that are poisonous that we use in perfumery, but the smell of it is not poisonous. So the sap is, but not the smell. Same with Lily of the Valley. Lily of the Valley is poisonous. Don't eat it, but it smells divine. So you can still enjoy the perfume of it. Would you wear light fragrances during the day and strong fragrances at night? yes and no. It depends on your personality. The great thing with fragrances, I really believe that there's no right and wrong. Some women really, they change, or sometimes you can wear an eau de toilette during the day and then you wear the perfume at night, which is more luxurious. That's great. Some fragrances, some ladies go through life with wearing the same fragrance. Other ladies like to experiment. I think that I think that it really is a matter of your personality and you know, and what suits your own lifestyle. Um, all right. Hello, Peggy from Tennessee. It's my cousin. Welcome to Bermuda. I'm cheering a dark and stormy, my dear. All right. Let's finish our fragrance library with the water collection. So the water collection, the whole idea with the water collection, I started creating that in around 2009, same time as Petals. And the reasoning behind that was I was approached by Tucker's Point, the very lovely resort in Tuckerstown, to create a fragrance for them, for the resort, which would be unisex, and that would work great, you know, around the beach club, around the tennis club, as well as the golf. So all perfume houses have a great cologne. And a cologne, in the pure sense of it, the definition of cologne as French people would name it, it's usually a blend of citruses, which is very simple and is perfectly suitable for both men and women. And that's what inspired Freshwater. And I said, well, Lili Bermuda deserves to have its own cologne, which is fresh, refreshing, and just simple and modern, that, you know, gives you that spark, which you just splash yourself with when you start your day and go about to, you know, to do your thing. And that's how Freshwater came. And it's great. I mean, this was a great fragrance from the start. You know, some fragrances take years to create. It took me, I think, Petals, of all the fragrances, Petals took me the longest one to create. This took me 2 weeks. You know, because I got it right away. You know, we knew what we wanted, and it's a simple fragrance. It's happy. It's just a blend of citrus. The greatest challenge when you create a cologne is to make it last a long time, because it's all made with citruses. Citruses are very, very, they evaporate very, very fast. And everybody thinks that quality means long lasting. It's not true, but that's what people believe. So we have to work after that and making sure that the fragrance stays around for a bit. So we have to coat it with some, you have to really work well the top notes, middle notes, base notes, coat it, and make sure that it trails a bit. So you add in the heart a little bit of neroli, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of cedar in the dry down, tons of musk, and it gives you fresh water. Fresh water is beautiful. Love this fragrance from day one. Really, really nice. And then the year after we did Freshwater, we said, well, Freshwater needs a little brother. So that created our unisex line, basically. And from there we said, oh my God, what a great idea to have some unisex fragrances, things that are more fruity, easy wear, a bit bubbly and fresh. And Saltwater came along. So Saltwater is my beach party. So that's a great, great, great fragrance. And guys wear that absolutely beautifully. It's yummy. It's just something you want to put on your almost you put on your toast in the morning. It just tastes really good. Smells very good. So yeah, so it's a beach party. It's coconut milk, guava, sea salt. It's Bermuda. It's a party in a bottle. It's really fun and easy wear. So that was just again, this was easy to do. We had an idea, and we thought, oh, how, you know, a bit suntan lotion. It smells like it's not too serious, and it's just fun and incredibly sexy. This talk about sexy. This is a 10. Really, really nice, beautiful. All right, and the last fragrance in the water collection is Calypso. Calypso is cup match in Bermuda. So this is also a party, but a cup match party. Goes very well with a dark and stormy. And Calypso is that. I mean, it's the music, it's the of Bermuda, it's the life, the party, it's summer, and it's just fun. One of the notes that I wanted to display in this, which I think is done very well, is seagrass. So it's quite orangey, neroli, a bit orange flower. I love orange flower, as you can see. But this one is done with the ocean side that is very vibrant in it, which is beautiful. So I love this, as well as loquat. So in Bermuda, in the wintertime, January, February, we have lots of great loquats, and they make us last to the spring, and it's very present in Calypso. Really, really beautiful. Other questions? How do I come up with names? What a good question. I think I name my perfume like I name my children. You just you know, you smell them, you see them, and then there's emotions that come with them. Perfumes, I believe, I really believe perfumes are multidimensional. They have colors, they have sound, they have texture, and when I choose a name, it has to really fit what is expressed in that fragrance and the emotions that are told within those fragrances. So that's how I choose my name. And I also have a name book that I carry everywhere. And whenever I see things that are fun, I always register it in my name book. And sometimes I need a fragrance, I need a name, and I go into my name book and I find it. I find it there. I did Sunkiss like that from my name book. Many years I wanted to work on. I wanted a fragrance called Sunkiss, and same with Nautilus. We're gonna smell Nautilus. I wanted a fragrance named Nautilus, and then, you know, you create. I always work on a lot of different scents, and then you see, you know what? That's the one. That's the one that's going to grab that name because it fits it perfectly. Yeah, so that's how I choose my names. All right, we still have a little bit time to smell the men's. We're gonna do that. So the men's is the same idea. So we have the 3 waters in the men's library, and then we have the 6 fragrances. We added Nautilus last year, which is very popular. So we're gonna start with the 2 most classic of our story for Lili Bermuda, which is Cedar and Navy. So when I came along, I inherited those 2 amazing fragrances, which are still very much bestsellers in our collection because they're classic, they're beautiful. I'm just gonna put that. So, all right. So let's smell Cedar and Navy. Beautiful, beautiful fragrances. So the cedar is very dear to my heart because when I came at the perfumery, David Battello was the perfumer of the house, and he showed me how to do this from scratch. And that's we actually extract the cedar oil, and we do all that right there behind me, and it's David's secret that he shared with me. So this is very, very special. I love this cedar. You know, perfumes are like colors. You know, we say these are men, these are women, but you know, I wear this. I love this. I mean, this in the winter time, in your wools, it's divine. I mean, it's woodsy, it's cedar, and it has, you know, and then we put some other notes in it to really give it a beautiful character. So cedar actually has some really nice facet of lavender, of rosemary, and a bit of bergamot. So this is really pretty. I love it. Lots of traffic on Queen Street, St. George's. You hear the put. That's how Bermuda's talking their cars. All right, Navy. Navy, another amazing classic. Love this. Navy is, the story of Navy is lime, vetiver, and a bit of spice. Very fresh and done in a very classic way. So this is always very, very popular. All right, moving along. 32 North and 64 West. There we go. All right, I did those two together, 32 North, 64 West. And this is the latitude, longitude of Bermuda. A great duo. Duos are very fashionable right now, perfume houses. They will launch like 2, 3, 5 fragrances at the time. I wanted to, when I created this, I wanted to contrast the ocean of Bermuda and the land. And that's the story behind 3264. So 32 is the ocean side of the island. It's the sporty side. It's the sailing. It's the ocean. It's the freshness of the morning. So it's really, really bright and beautiful and young and easy wear. This is a very beautiful fresh mandarin that I do with a bit of mint in the dry down. And it's a fougère, so a little bit of geranium, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of coumarin. Very, very beautiful. I think of the men's fragrances along with Nautilus. This is the best seller. Yeah. 64 West is the complete opposite. It's the earth. So the character of this is the cedar. It's the brain. It's the business side of the island. So it's your businessman. It's the wheeling and dealing of Front Street. It's the private jet guy. And this is a bit more serious, but done in a very pretty aromatic way. So with a bit of sage, a bit of grapefruit, and it's very nice. I wear this. I love it. Absolutely love this. And if somebody's looking for something outside of the box, this is it. This is really, really nice. All right. The last two. Fabulous scents. Every scent has a story. Great story. I could go on and on and on. Okay, summers. I'm very mindful of my time. I did summers for my best friend, Charles Webb, who's probably the most handsome, classiest, most elegant guy in the world. I did that for his birthday a few years ago. And I told him, I said, you know, I'm going to launch this because it's too beautiful. And so it's a Bermuda cedar that I do, but with lots of personality, because Charles has a lot of great personality. So this is beautiful. It turns heads. It's done with a bit of dark rum, a bit of spice, and lots of beautiful amber, vanilla, and a bit of patchouli. It's just really, really classy. Beautiful. I would say it's probably like my paradise, but for the man. And this is just really, really delicious. Beautiful. Very, very, and modern, you know, in a manly type of way. All right. Finally, and not the least, my latest one for men is Nautilus. So Nautilus is fabulous. It rhymes. And Nautilus was inspired by my son, William, who's a surfer. And the way I describe Nautilus in a few words, I say it's a crashing wave. And that's exactly what it is. It has a lot of great energy. So the way I did this is it's a fougère, so classic fougère, very nice geranium, coumarin with a bit of lavender, and vetiver, and loads of citruses to give it a lot of energy. And that's what Nautilus is. So it's great. It's young. I mean, the young people, they love this. It's fresh, and and it's big. So yeah, this is not the subtle thing. It's just really, really happy, very masculine. The woody is great, and it has lots of great brightness. So young people really, really love my Nautilus. So we've gone through all of them. Okay, let me see other questions. Are you working on are you working on the ladies or men's fragrances next? I'm working on a lot of things. Yeah, both. Both is my answer. I was thinking of maybe launching something for Christmas, and then I thought, I don't think it's a good idea, just because you don't rush perfumery. So I think I'm gonna wait maybe for the spring for something that's going to come, and do it well. And I don't do jingles that I launch one year and then the next year I do a blue and a pink and an orange. I don't do that. So when perfumes join my collection, they're there for a long time. So it's important that they're done very well. All right. So enjoying the Zoom. Which is your absolute favorite? I said that at the beginning. I think you came a bit late, Peggy. My favorite, well, they're my babies, right? So I love them all in a very different way. I wear my men, I wear my women. Tonight I'm gonna wear Passion Flower, because it's a Passion Flower night. But I usually, on the daytime when I need a great fragrance, I wear coral, and I wear also a lot of petals. I absolutely love them. Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to cheer to you, and listen, I hope you enjoy. A lot of ladies have told me, and gentlemen have said, I bought the library, and during the lockdown and all of that, and while we're at home a lot these days, and it's helped me a lot. And they say it's a good time to reflect and to discover scents and to play with fragrances, and I agree with that. Perfumes are they're very soothing, and they do make you feel beautiful. And in times like this, feeling beautiful is very important. So, keep on discovering new scents. I think it's a beautiful thing. All right, and until next time, thank you for joining me, and please come to see us in Bermuda. Thank you.